WGN Investigates has an update on a questionable cancer charity now being investigated by the Illinois Attorney General. The South suburban politician who the charity is named after is now denying direct involvement in the foundation that bears her name.
All I can tell you is that I'm not the one on anything. That's the only thing I can tell you right now. So I'm just trying to answer to the
So you're saying there's a foundation that's not registered, but it has nothing to do with you?
Correct. That's true.
Okay.
That's
so
true.
You're not aware of any of the work that they've done, money that they've raised, anything along those lines?
Correct.
Okay.
Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard appeared on Roland Martin Unfiltered on YouTube last night. It comes after WGN Investigates reported the Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation claims to support cancer patients but hasn't filed required financial disclosures to say how it raises or spends money. Henyard's claim that she's not involved in the foundation is contradicted by statements at public meetings and social media videos she's posted. As we've reported, her top advisor was also listed as the charity's registered agent. The Attorney General has ordered the foundation to stop soliciting money and is threatening legal action.
You see that brother rolling his head like, oh man, here we go again. Tiffany Cares is the name of the foundation, and yet Tiffany's unaware. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. You know, I'm not saying what you're doing and what you ain't, but it's getting messy out here. Let's check into a little bit more footage, see what's going on with this foundation. Run it!
We want to tell you about the Illinois Attorney General's office now ordering a charity run by Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard to stop soliciting donations. The charity, called Tiffany Henyard Cares, failed to register with the Attorney General's office or disclose how much money it raised and how the money is being spent. Fox 32 first raised questions about her charity last year. Our investigation with the Illinois Answers Project found she was using public employees and taxpayer dollars to support the charity, including a $10,000 donation from Thornton Township, where she is supervisor. The AG's office says it is evaluating further action against the charity to protect donors and enforce state laws about charitable giving.
Order to stop soliciting those donations. And 10 grand from Thornton? It's getting a bit fishy. Tiff, the people want to hear from you. Let us know where we can get in tune with the truth. Let's go.
Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard is launching what she calls the most entertaining political podcast ever.
Yes, but this all comes as she is being investigated by the FBI for allegations of corruption. Roseanne joins us live with more details on what she is up to now. Roseanne.
Well, Anthony, Anita, last week, even as residents lined up at a Board of Trustees meeting to question her conduct in office, she continues to call herself the super mayor. And her new podcast, debuting next week on Spotify, is called Truth Speaks, the Tiffany Henyard on the Move podcast. Now, it comes as Henyard is being investigated by federal agents, we know. Since Henyard took office back in 2021, some local business owners have complained that they can't get their licenses renewed and are being harassed after refusing to donate to Henyard events. The police chief accuses Henyard of misusing her security detail, and Henyard has spent taxpayer money on trips and self-promoting billboards.
So I heard you guys was looking for me. If you looking for Tiffany Henyard, press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. So, what you want me to talk about? This or that? This and that? Or me?
And there's a taste of that podcast, which again is supposed to start on Spotify next week. Now, the Board of Trustees did vote just last week to have her investigated after those residents sounded off about her lack of accountability. Back to you.
Yes, back to me. And Tiff, thank you so much for telling my joiners to hit that subscribe button for me down below. Hit that like, notification bell as well. Ah, shit. Tiff got a podcast coming. The Truth Speaks. No ad hominems, no puns coming your way. Do your thing. Believe it or not, a lot of people going to be showing up to hear what she has to say. But in the meantime, I mean, we got the feds investigating. What are your trustees doing? What's going on up there in Dalton? Let's get that fixed.
A follow-up to a heated board meeting last night in South Suburban Dalton. Trustees are calling for an investigation into the town's mayor, Tiffany Henyard. NBC5's Christian Farr has a look at what happens next.
This is not a dictatorship, and that's the problem that we're having.
Dalton trustee Brittany Norwood says she and many of her fellow village trustees have been fighting to save Dalton.
I am your leader.
They say Mayor Tiffany Henyard is preventing them from doing their jobs and is also blocking them from seeing any of the village spending.
We're asking for credit card statements, we're asking for bank statements, and we're asking for information that help us, assist us as trustees to know how the money is being spent.
There needs to be an ordinance in place so that no future mayor can spend as they want to.
Last night, the Board of Trustees held a special meeting where a resolution was passed that calls for an investigation into Mayor Henyard and village spending. Trustee Norwood says some trustees were locked out of the village's finances when they discovered in September that Dalton was $7 million in debt.
We're able to track receipts for spending, and then we shared it with the public, and once we started sharing it with the public, our access was denied.
The Tribune is reporting that federal authorities, including the FBI, have been investigating Mayor Henyard, and the Illinois Attorney General's office has questions about a charitable foundation connected to the mayor that has not been registered with the state. In response to that special meeting, the village said in part that this is just another example of a few trustees in the village spreading lies and false allegations, and then accused those trustees of charging more than $5 million in frivolous lawsuits that the Dalton taxpayers are stuck with the tab.
The residents are now feeling that this is the best time, more than ever, that we kind of stick together and work as a community to force this administration to work with us.
Trustee Norwood says that it's likely the mayor will block that investigation during the next board meeting in March. She says that will lead to another special meeting to make certain that investigation does take place.
I said, girl, they looking for the receipts there, girl. What a paperwork. But if they spent $5 million on legal fees, that should be easy documentation to provide. I don't know, Tiff. It's looking grim. But as you know, we're not here to point any fingers. We're here to collect different media sources, compile them together, and have a conversation about what's going on in these streets. Once again, I want to thank you for tuning in to News Junkies. Please take the time, hit that like button, subscribe if you like the material, and you can ring that bell as well, my friend. Until the next time, peace and bless.